It gets a little bit better tonight. As you know, we've already had some nasty showers throughout the afternoon, especially through most of New Jersey. It's clearing up just a bit. It'll still be cloudy. We'll still have a couple spot showers, but it won't be as bad as it was this afternoon. We only got up to 62 degrees today, so that's almost 10 degrees below average. The record was 88, set in 1900. Sunset at least is after 8 p.m., but it's not like we even really saw much of the sun to begin with today, did we? Current temperature is 61 degrees in New York. We have 63 out in Long Island. A little warmer up in Hartford, where it's 71. We have 65 for the Hudson Valley, 61 down the shore in New Jersey. It was a very breezy day. It's not too bad right now. Consistent wind speeds 5 to 15 miles per hour. We do have some wind gusts in the area down the shore. We have Newark gusting at 26 miles per hour still in White Plains, but a lot of us have calmed down, and tomorrow won't be as breezy. It will be a pretty typical day. Wind gusts won't be too bad. Looking on the national satellite radar, several systems around the country. Middle of the country is pretty calm, but we have some through the mid-Atlantic, and then of course what we got. It almost looks like things are going to get better, right? It almost looks like we might get some dry air, but unfortunately that's not what's going to happen. We have a warm front approaching. We'll have some showers ahead of that, and an area of low pressure that's going to linger yet again, just like last week. So like I said, rest of your evening, we'll have a couple spot showers. It'll remain cloudy, but most of it is kind of clearing up in terms of that heavy precipitation. Tomorrow morning, could see a couple spot showers, but most of it is between about 2 to 8 p.m., I'd say. And then it clears up a little bit late at night. Friday morning, a couple spot showers, and then the main time where we're expecting some heavier, more widespread rainfall between about 2 to 8 p.m. That actually continues Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Most of us have that chance in the morning, but most of it is in the mid-afternoon to the evening. Not really getting rid of those rain chances until Sunday. So the weather's going to warm up, but we won't really get to enjoy it until Sunday, and that actually should be a pretty nice day. Low tonight, 60 in New York. Most of us in the upper 50s. Tomorrow, upper 60s, low 70s. Like I said, warming up through the end of the week, but we'll finally get to enjoy it Sunday. Pretty dense fog out there. Again, we still are going to be foggy tonight, probably tomorrow morning early as well. We do have fewer showers and storms in the area. It just always feels like it's going to rain on us. That doesn't mean it's necessarily going to throughout the day. Warmer temperatures ahead as well. We'll finally get to enjoy those temperatures on Sunday. I mean, if you look at this map of temperatures, you're like, wow, what a great day, right? 65 in New York. We see 66 in Boston, 70s throughout New York State, all the way to Buffalo. We stretch even further west. You see 82 for Chicago. So again, like, what a nice day outside. But then you look a little bit closer. We have very high relative humidity numbers, 84% in New York, 100% down the shore. And we have pretty high dew point temperatures. So that means it feels pretty humid out there. Your hair might frizz up a little bit. It's really warm for the whole eastern half of the U.S., 77 down in Atlanta and Memphis. We see 86 for New Orleans, again 82 for Chicago. We see cooler air way out west. We will get some of that cooler air mid next week. It'll be a bit cooler. But first, we have a couple warm fronts moving through, and we are going to see a little bit of rain ahead of that and behind that. So that kind of keeps us in this cycle for the next few days of having some showers. Moves through on Friday and Saturday. Then we have a cold front, and that's what's going to cool us down mid next week. So let's look at what we have for the rest of the day. It's still going to be cloudy. It's still going to be foggy. Temperatures in the 60s and 70s. By mid to late afternoon, we see showers pop up in south central Jersey. Eventually, most of New Jersey will get some rain as we get into the afternoon and evening. Then around dinner time, some rain to the north of New York. See White Plains, Poughkeepsie, Monticello, Sussex, getting some showers. Now, I don't want to promise y'all in New York City that we won't see rain for the rest of the day, but it is possible that we could be dry for the remainder of the afternoon, evening. Again, I don't want to promise that, so you might want to keep your umbrella handy, but out east it's just a lot calmer than what we have to the north and also to the west. Later tonight, it clears up for all of us, and then we get a little bit more rain Friday morning. It starts again in New Jersey because it's moving east. Then we get some rain around lunchtime, temperatures in the 60s and 70s, and then it kind of clears up for the evening before returning again on Saturday. Unfortunately, we do have some rain for our Saturday, but then Sunday, nice weather and actually clear, dry conditions. Lows tonight in the 50s and 60s, but most of us in the 60s. Tomorrow gets a little bit warmer in the mid to upper 70s, 76 for New York. Look at 78 for Newark, 79 for Trenton to last. So we had a mild start. It really is, though, the perfect day, mid 70s, plenty of sunshine. It's not humid. but those showers return soon. You know what it's like for spring in the tri-state area, a pretty wet week ahead. But the good stuff right now is not just in the tri-state area. It pushes even further into the Midwest. Look, we have 72 for Williamsport. We have 74 for Buffalo. Then you push into Ohio. We have mid to upper 70s. Even Chicago's at 77, 69 in New York, 67 for Boston. 76 for Philadelphia and D.C. Just a really great day. We're all trying to soak it up while we can. Not humid at all. These dew point temperatures are really, really low, just 26 degrees in New York and most just in the 30s. So you can't feel any humidity. And then we have more good stuff around the country. Lots of really nice temperatures. 76 in Atlanta. We have 75 down in Miami. We already touched on 77 for Chicago. Same thing for Minneapolis and 76 for Kansas City. But it's not all good. So while we had those nice temperatures in the southeast, we also have this system moving through all the way from down in Miami through up almost into the Midwest and parts of the Mid-Atlantic, and that's what's going to bother us a little bit tomorrow. So this area of low pressure that's kind of settled in the southeast, it's actually a very similar situation to last week when we just had a system kind of hover over us for the entire week. That's what we have moving forward. So the rest of your day is gorgeous. Like we said earlier, you can make those plans outdoors, even for dinner and most of your late night hours. And then overnight, we start to see some cloud cover. Now, for the first half of the day, the only places that are going to see any rainfall is really south and west of the city. So parts of New Jersey, definitely parts of Pennsylvania could sneak into the Hudson Valley. But Long Island and Connecticut will be dry, and I think all 5 boroughs will stay dry for the first half of the day. Then we start to get some rainfall Tuesday late afternoon into the evening, and that's just going to stick around really through those overnight hours into Wednesday. Most of Wednesday is going to be filled with rain. Thursday becomes a bit more scattered, but we still have chances of rain Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So let's time it out a little bit more with some temperatures and also getting a little bit closer to the tri-state. Rest of your day is also going to be mild temperatures. We already talked about how it's going to be clear and dry, but it's also going to stay quite nice outside temperature-wise. Then those clouds start to come in late tonight, really through those overnight hours, and tomorrow morning will look a little bit different. Then we have that rain that just kind of stays to the south and also to the west for the first half of the day. I mean, we're looking good temperature-wise, mid-60s, mid-70s. But then late afternoon, we start to get that rainfall that moves through. It's pretty widespread, but then becomes more scattered overnight. Wednesday morning's a bit more scattered as well. But I do think you can plan for your Wednesday morning commute to have some rainfall, and then it just kind of sticks around for Wednesday. And like I said, we just kind of stay in this place where we're constantly under the threat of having some rainfall. But again, first half of the day, most of us are dry. This is Tuesday at 1 p.m. We don't even see that much rainfall for Tuesday out on Long Island and Connecticut. Most of the rainfall is down the shore in New Jersey, places like Newark. We'll get about 1/4 of an inch in New York, and then up in places like Monticello and definitely parts of Pennsylvania. And then there's that just consistent chance Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But on the plus side of that, on looking at our drought monitor, things have really improved with all that rain we had last week, and so it feels a little bit more like spring or even summer, and that puts us in the 70s, 71 degrees in New York, 70 out on Long Island. We have 72 for Hartford, 73 for Poughkeepsie, 66 down the shore in New Jersey. So, of course, when we look at these temperatures, it looks like it's really nice out. But then we have those storms rolling through that we'll talk about in just a second. We'll get a little bit warmer in the mid to upper 70s. Even Poughkeepsie almost pushing 80 for a high of 79 today. We stay cooler down the shore in New Jersey, just a high of 65. Now, it is a bit more humid, or those dew point temperatures have crossed into the 60s. So that's another way that it's not so nice outside, but at least we have some better temperatures. This warm front is bringing us some warmer temps as we get into the weekend, but there are some storms ahead of that warm front and behind it. So the rest of your day is going to be nice and warm. Like I said earlier, I think this evening we'll have mainly dry time in the city and out east on Long Island. Remember, we have a severe thunderstorm watch for most of New Jersey, and that's from now until 5 p.m., but we could still see some showers at night. Late at night, we're mainly going to see showers to the north of the city, so parts of northern New Jersey and then into the Hudson Valley. We still could see a stray shower really late, and then tomorrow morning we'll get a few more showers, but nothing too heavy or severe. We'll start the day in the 70s and we'll eventually cross into the 80s. I think actually a lot of your Saturday will be pretty nice and warm and dry, but we just have a chance for a few showers, especially in the morning. Sunday, we actually dry out. We'll be in the 70s and actually not facing rain for the first time in quite a while. Lows tonight in the 60s, and then tomorrow, like I said, is going to be warm with some showers to start, but then